There's a surprising amount of Granny merch out there. All the merch covered in this video is made by Fat Mojo. But enough stalling. Let's go through every single piece of Granny merch. In 2019, the most well-known Granny merch came out. The original Granny plushies, which were two of them. The normal Granny and Angry Granny. These are very high quality and look very accurate to the games. There's not much to say that hasn't been said about them. They are high quality and accurate. As well, in 2019, a shirt was released. I made an entire shirt on this shirt, but I kinda rushed it because I only have a minute and a short. So I'll go into more detail here. Baldi's Basics Granny Tee is likely the most obscure Granny merch of all time. The Granny on the shirt has been given the name Mad Engine Granny by fans, and I'll be referring to the shirt by Mad Engine Granny. She was sold on Hot Topic. The listing still exists, in fact, but it's never restocked. A while ago, Fat Mojo put up a listing on their eBay, Misfits, selling the shirt, and I got it. I have never worn the shirt since I've got it on 29th of October 2022. It is unreal that I have the shirt in my hand. The material of the shirt is insanely high quality, and if you're wondering why I called it Baldi's Basics Granny Tee, that's because the tag says, "I wish I was joking." The discontinuing in this shirt could have been for two reasons. Number one, incorrect copyright. Joey Drew Studios is on the shirt credits, and the tag says Baldi's Basics Granny Tee. I have no idea how they tied Baldi with this shirt, but they did. Number two, Fat Mojo worked with Mad Engine, a large appeal company, but Developer's license doesn't appear on the website. Maybe they had the license and then dropped it, but nevertheless, it could be why this shirt was discontinued. In 2021, there was more Granny merch released without an announcement and were swept under the rug. The first two are two more plushies of Granny, but before I can talk about them, I need to talk about some other small things. Sometime before the release of this merch, Fat Mojo, the merch creators for Granny, created a trademark called Frenemies, which are more family-friendly versions of some other horror characters. This included Piggy from Piggy, Mr. Peterson from Hello Neighbor, Baldi from Baldi's Basics, Rod Sullivan from Ice Cream, and the main focus of this video, Granny from Granny. There are two sets of plushies for these characters, the full body and Doughmigos. The full body is, well, full body of the characters. Doughmigos, on the other hand, is a huge head of the characters. Well, not that big. It's about half the size of the OG Granny plush. The Frenemies Plush is kind of hard and snaps into one position. She's really well made, but is definitely the worst Granny plushie. The Doughmigos plush is insanely soft and feels so good to hold. The difference between the Frenemies and Doughmigos plush is night and day. Also in 2021, there were 3 shirts released. The first one I want to look at is Family Portrait. This includes Granny, Grandpa, Sandrina, and the child Sandrina in a painting. The shirt is well put together and insanely high quality. There's also a few things that are strange. The child has a closed mouth and is on some sort of stool? Also, Granny has a weirdly muscular arm. The next shirt is Hide and Seek, which I really do like and pretty good to look at. Includes Granny and the spider, with the text reading,
"Do you want to play hide and seek?"
Last one is Chibi Family, and it looks pretty goofy. It includes Granny with holding Teddy, Grandpa, Sandrina, and the child Sandrina. The only shirt I got was Family Portrait. And if you're wondering who drew these designs, is Chris Hope. In 2022, the Frenemies got a blind bag series, which includes all the characters in blind bags, and you would get a figure out of them. There were 12 figures, and 3 of them were Granny. The first figure is just Granny, with no major difference. Her dress is kind of bluish, but apparently under some proper light, it becomes grey, which I don't get it. Next one is Granny holding up her bat and holding Teddy in the other hand. It's pretty high quality. Mine's a bit scratched. The final one is just the first Granny, but with a black dress. That's the whole figure. The black dress one is rare and which are usually called chase piece figures. And so Black Dress Granny has been dubbed Chase Piece Granny. A weird thing with Frenemies is that the plushies and the mystery minis says that it is Series 1. There's meant to be more, but at the time of writing, there is no Series 2, nor a release date. Maybe in Series 2 we'll get a Grandpa plushie and a figure, but only time will tell. That's all the Granny merch that you can buy. There's a lot of stuff, but if you count it up, there's actually only 11 pieces of official merch. There's more people in my applied maths class than Granny merch. But that's not all for Granny merch, as there's a lot more merch. Merch that never got to see the light of day. Toy Fair is an American event that occurs late in the year in the United States, where you can see upcoming toys set the year after. Fat Mojo had a Toy Fair stand for 2019 and 2020 for various brands, and Granny appeared in the lineup. This stuff could be very well lost to time, but thankfully, FGTeeV and Puppet Steve recorded the Granny stand, so let's look at them. In 2019, you can see the Granny plushies on the left in their own box, which has never been seen since. In the middle is some prototype action figures. It looked like Granny would have been the main star, with Teddy and the Slendrina X Spider, aka the 1.5 Spider, as side pieces. There are also what seems to be keychains. For those on the back, FPO means for possession only, which were concept. In 2020, there is a lot of merch here. The first and main thing that interests me is the Lego sets. The main big set is a decently sized Granny's house with the main door, the study room to the left of the door, and the player's room. There were micro sets which were piss tiny. They are Granny's jail cell from the attic, Granny's kitchen from the kitchen, Granny's guillotine set, and Granny's well from the backyard. There's also a concept of Lego Granny, which has what seems to be a very early version of Granny 3's house due to the front porch and the window frame. Besides the Lego stuff, there is also what seems to be a mystery minis with only Granny related characters. The piss yellow and I'm gonna fucking kill you! Were presumably the chase piece figures. There's also a regular Granny, Angry Granny, Frozen Granny, Grandpa, Slendrina, the Child Slendrina, and the Slendrina X's Spider. There's also a deluxe figure that is barely in shot. And the last thing is stickers? I think? It's not clear what they were meant to be, but because it's impossible to read anything for what they could have been whatever. Now, there is one key detail I missed. If you look on the mystery minis, at the bottom it says confidential, pending final licensor approval. Copyright 2022, new copyright DV Looper, all rights reserved. This means that DV Looper disproved every single merch piece here, but the Granny plushies on the right, which were released like long before this Toy Fair happened. If you remember a while ago, Crazy Leaker leaked DV Looper's face, and since then, DV Looper has asked Crazy Leaker to take down the video, and Crazy Leaker did. In the pictures, there are 2 pieces of Granny merch that has never been shown anywhere else. For DV Looper's privacy, I will only show these merch pieces and nothing else. The first one is Spreading Holiday Fear t-shirt. And it seems to have the same style like Chris Hope drew the other 3 t-shirts earlier in the video, but this one isn't listed on his website at all. The other merch piece is a jumbo Granny Plush, which, using the Granny Plush beside it as a reference, seems to be about 72 centimeters big, or 2 feet and 4 inches big. But that's a rough estimate. And that is all the Granny merch that is official. If you want to buy some of the released merch, you can only buy the OG Granny Plush, the Frenemies Plush, and Doughmigos Plush. And all the other officially released stuff is discontinued. I'll leave a link to all of them if you want to buy some of them, but they could be ending soon since the OG Granny is 5 years old and the Frenemies and Doughmigos are both 3 years old. If you want to buy them, act quick. It feels like they should have been more officially released merch, but there is 11 pieces and only 2 pieces are well known. I hope there will be some more merch, but only time will tell. Well, there's technically more merch. FGTeeV uses Granny in some of their merch. The first one is I Survived Granny's House t-shirt. Chris's Hopes website confirms that this was a collaboration shirt, but it's not technically Granny merch. The next one is, okay, I'm stretching the term Granny merch. This is a microphone with Granny on it, and you can sing Granny's House on it. Yeah.
Hey guys, it's me, Purple. I'm coming in here to randomly talk about this microphone exclusively for this video because I don't know, I just felt like it. So Alex is kind of wrong. The merchandise in question doesn't really have Granny on it. It can sing Granny's House, but I wouldn't really consider that enough of a factor to consider it in any way official Granny merchandise. That being said, the box for it does have a tiny bit of cardboard that has Granny on it, and that would be official since both Fat Mojo owns DV Loppers and FGTeeV's license. But you might be thinking, there's no way that Purple would spend $30 US for a box, for a microphone of a merchandise brand that he has no interest in, for a single cardboard flap of said box. You'd be wrong. I would do that. I definitely would. There it is. Play music like Granny's House. And yes, I still have the microphone. And yes, I can confirm it does play Granny's House.
The next one is a cancelled piece of merch, which Duddy himself actually gave light to. I'll let him explain it.
Granny's car is up there. I know I teased this in the last video, but yeah, this Granny's car with me in the back seat, I'm supposed to play the little when you like rode the wheels. It just never came out, guys. It would have been so cool.
Okay, that's all the Granny merch. I have nothing much else to add. I just hope you enjoyed the video as much as I did creating this video. Alright, that's the whole video. Goodbye.